20th of January today. It's going to get up to about 23 degrees Celsius, so about 73 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's get into the blue hive, see what happens. 2 weeks ago, I put a box on them. Hopefully they're doing all right. Let's see. Bit of smoke at the front door. Not a single thing in the top box. Plenty of bees in the bottom box. Real feisty. Wish my smoker was going a bit better. Oh! There's one for the day. Actually, they're all over me. I bet they feel the same. Only copped one sting out of that little barrage. I just think I didn't smoke them enough. We've got brood. We've got an open or a half-built queen cup. That one's empty. A little bit of larva between. A little bit of larvae between. Good brood as well. I'll pop this one aside. I'm going to keep the smoke up to these guys because I can just tell that they're not happy. Alright, first frame in. Nectar. So there's good nectar. A little bit of pollen through there, as you can see. Probably a bit too early with the box. Here's a merged brood, and we've got eggs, but we've got a lot of multiples. So why have we got so many multiples? Could be a new queen. Single eggs. Most of the other cells, we do have a lot of doubles. So could be queenless. That's why they're angry. And could have a laying worker. Laying workers will often lay more than one egg. But the brood pattern looks okay. Maybe it's a new queen. New queens can also be a little bit ordinary with their laying. I don't recall marking a queen. The problem with this hive originally, which is why it died off, was that it had a laying worker in it. Population's okay. It's probably, I want more coverage on these frames of bees. I'm looking for the queen. I'm going to call it and say that she's just young and she's just shooting more than one egg, because if it's a laying worker, this laying worker's phenomenal because it's laid out a whole box, and I don't think you'd normally see a laying worker lay out a whole box. Nice pollen frame there. So I think I've convinced myself that it's a new queen, because if it was a laying worker, they'd be drones because they would be unmated. So after all that, so there you have it, the blue hive. Looks like we've got a new queen in there. Certainly strange egg laying patterns, but we'll keep an eye on it. So now we're going to get into the pink hive. These guys got a box put on 2 weeks ago. Let's get into them and see what happens. Bit of smoke at the front door. Some bees in the bottom. They look really, really lethargic. You know, I'll get this box off. Nine framer. Look at that propolis. That's like glass. nice and slow. The queen could be on this. So we've got eggs all the way through there. Oh, and pollen on this side. So they've backfilled the brood nest with pollen. There's eggs and larvae between. Well, there's eggs between, I should say. Nice brood. Really good pollen, heaps of pollen coming in. Good brood there as well. Eggs and larvae in most of those cells. Don't get me started. Eggs and larvae between. I'm keeping an eye out for the queen. Pollen through here, honey. Same there. Bit more larvae here. So she's really only just started laying this out. Oh, oh, you little pumps. Boy. Maybe there's some more mature brood here. Yes, we do have a very good pattern. Plenty of brood there, hey. A couple of queen cups, but nothing untoward. So you can tell what's happening on a frame. If you look, you can see here there's a baby bee trying to extricate itself from its cocoon. So at least this band here will be emerging. There's some more emerging here and here. Wow, cool. It's a pretty well put together colony. They've got everything they need. Heaps and heaps of brood. So that sort of looks like they could be considering swarming. They've got some room still. That's a long cut though. It's only not very deep. And on the other side, good brood as well. So they're bringing in some nectar. They will need a bit more room, so I'm happy to leave that top box on. Nice. Larvae through here. A bit aggressive though. A couple of stings. here. And you can uncap drones to see if you've got any Varroa mite. They're probably a bit young. But yeah. And on the other side, plenty more drone brood. I don't care about drone brood. It doesn't bother me at all. Some beekeepers really hate it. The last frame is honey and still more brood. So we've got 8, 9 frames of brood. 8 frames of brood. Can you see it? Okay, so I've talked before about patterns. Look at the way the queen travels through the bees and watch behind her. All the bees walk into her scent trail and they all have a little bit of a taste. There's another one. She just got fed then. So all the bees smell her pheromone and she's constantly changing her signals. She's constantly changing them from time to swarm, time to slow down, time to collect nectar. Well, probably she doesn't control that. So she basically wanders around and every bee goes into her trail and they all have a bit of a taste. Look, have a bit of a taste. So when you're looking for a queen, what you're looking for is you're sort of looking for the queen, but you're more so looking at all her attendants. You're looking for the attendants that are feeding her or looking at her scent trail, tasting her pheromones. There you go, I'll pop her back in, put her straight up against the side wall so that I don't have to move that frame again. Alright, so when you've got a lot of bees on the frame like this, the best thing to do is to shake them. That way you've got a small frame, not as wide. It almost slides into the hive. Looks like they almost need that room. There we have it, the pink hive. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, so now we'll have a look at the purple hive. Now the purple hive and the pink hive were both a split from the white hive. So let's check them out, see how they go. Lots of bums in air. Nothing really happening in this top box. So you want to intercept that pheromone before they start making too much of it. So the best way to intercept their pheromones, look at that. Ow! Get off me. Now that I've regained some sort of normality. Okay, let's see what we can find in this little hive. Again, 9 framer this one, so never easy to get the frames out of these, which will cause even more problems if they're a little bit aggressive. Okay, nice and slow. Just in case the queen's there, you don't want to roll her. We've got brood, pollen, and we've got some eggs through here. Got honey, nice band of pollen, larvae, and some eggs, and then we've got brood. So that's really cool. So I'll put that aside. Nectar. Same thing here, so nectar, and this is pollen. You can see the bees bring in a bit of pollen. That's bright orange. It's like a cheesel. So frame 3. Nice. Look at that. Larvae. Doesn't look like any eggs. Sorry, brood. Doesn't look like any eggs in there. Good brood here as well. So we've got a couple of eggs up in here. Nice juicy larvae. Just an old queen cup. Couple of queen cups here. Nothing to worry about. Really nice brood. Again, really good brood. We're getting towards the centre of the brood nest. Here's an old queen cell that's been knocked down. Pretty cool. More brood. Good brood too. Some eggs up in these cells here. Pollen. Bit of drone brood there. And really good brood on that side as well. That could be a supersedure cell, but it's not. It's just a play cup. Emerging brood. More emerging brood over here. So I wonder if these guys are cleaning out these cells or whether there's nectar in there. Probably cleaning them out, ready for the queen to lay in again. These guys are just mucking around with these cells. I'll rip it down anyway, they'll repair that. Lots of new bees, lots of fuzzy bees. See that bee there? It's quite fuzzy. The fuzzier the bee, the younger it is. So old bees, foragers, that have been alive for a few weeks will be really quite shiny. And new bees will be really quite furry. So that's all laid out with eggs. Look at that pollen colour. That's all laid out with eggs as well. So these guys are pumping. Alright, 2 more to go. I'll need some smoke in a sec. I haven't spotted the queen. honey, nectar, and same thing here. So you've got your honey, you've got your nectar, and you've got a bit of pollen. I think this is where I tasted the honey from last week, 2 weeks ago. It looks quite dark. Okay, so I'm happy with where they are. I would like to have seen the queen. Doesn't look like it. So again, because we've got so many bees on this frame, shake and then drop. So there we have it, the purple hive. Those guys are doing really, really well. We do have an autumn flow. We're about halfway through summer. Hopefully that kicks in soon. We'll just see how we go. All right, so here we are. We're going to check the red hive. These guys got a box put on 2 weeks ago. Looks like there's plenty of activity at the front door. Let's give them some smoke. Ooh, lots of propolis there, which is promising. Yeah, good bees. This has got an excluder on it. Few stores here. Wow, look at all those drones. So I've put some drone brood up here and they've all been trapped, so none of them have been able to fly. Look at them all. That's all pollen. I'm going to shake those drones off. More drones. Look. Fly, my pretties. More drones, more pollen. Play cups. This is a really weird box. Why is there so much pollen in here? Look at that. It's the 4 frames of pollen. More drones, more pollen. Box full of pollen. A lot of dead drones down the bottom too. So at some point I must have put up a fair bit of drone comb into that top box because they're all drones. Why so much pollen? That's the thing that's confusing me. Why is there a box full of drones and it's full of pollen as well? Is that weird? Okay, we've got brood, we've got eggs, honey. That comb looks pretty new too, the light colour. Even more drones. This frame is stuck to the box. It's not attached to the top. Hopefully they get it attached. I might turn it round. That's all drone brood there, so there's no shortage of drones in this hive. Good brood though. A little bit grumpy. They're trying to sting me all over the place. On my legs, on my back. They're just everywhere. So there's eggs in those cells. Oh! Oh, you will! Oh. I really don't... Yeah, let's not get into it. When I purchased this hive, we inspected it. The seller and I, look at that, that's nice, isn't it? We inspected it without our gloves on and without our suits on. So is it distress? Stress and distress. Eggs and larvae between all those cells. They've got room. Oh, look at that. It might just be the box of death that was on the top that's upset them. So this is mainly pollen, a little bit of honey, and on the other side, same thing, pollen and honey. Cool. Just saw a small hive beetle there. I haven't been inundated with small hive beetles, but there's certainly been some. So they're starting to draw out this comb. Look at them festooning there in preparation. So they need more room and they know it. So this one here is just a little starter strip that they're working on. That's it. So I'm going to put these guys back together before they sting me anymore. Oh, oh man, because I'm at about maybe 20 stings from this hive so far. I'm going to have to shake this frame off because it's so fat. No, I'm not game enough to shake it. I just got stung in the small of my elbow. Alright, let's pack these guys up. I feel like I could use that pollen So that's the red hive. I'm not overly happy with this hive. I'm concerned about the amount of pollen in the top of that box, and their aggression is really annoying. But anyway, that's beekeeping. Thanks guys and girls for watching. So now we're going to check out the yellow hive. The yellow hive it's been a little bit slower than the other hives this season, so we'll suss them out, see what happens. So these are the Italians. Nine frames in this box. Just had to check. Empty frame here that they've just started to draw out. Beautiful nectar. Very yellow comb, isn't it? It's a weird sort of day today as far as weather's concerned. It's only about 18 degrees Celsius, so what's that, about 64 or 65 degrees Fahrenheit. But it's a bit, there's a lot of moisture in the air and it's really overcast. Good one. So we've got some larvae and we've got some eggs down through here. Queen might be up around this end of the hive. So keep your eyes open. Doesn't look like it. Could brood on that side. So this is the original foundation that I've put in, and then they have come along, and I should straighten this actually. See, this sort of thing, you can straighten the comb and you can butcher it and they'll just come back and fix it. But that's the original foundation I put in, and they have built upon that. Nice. So a little bit of pollen here, so in amongst this brood is some larvae. The pattern's a little bit patchy. I wonder if that's just because they've been in such a recovery mode for the last 8 weeks. Okay, so there's some eggs down there in the bottom, and also up in the top here there's some eggs up there. So they're still building. New comb drawn out with brood in it. And there are eggs down in amongst these open cells. Keep an eye out for the queen. They've got plenty of room. They're still in total recovery mode. And here's a fresh frame, only just drawn out. No eggs in there. On the other side, same. So this queen has got an abundance of room. They probably don't even need the top box on. Have they got a top box? No, they don't. That's why they haven't got one. Heavy frame. Mostly nectar. A little bit of pollen in the last of that brood. It's their natural instinct to store the honey on the outside frames. So they're probably just going to reduce that brood there, put more brood on this frame and some of the other frames. And this should be our pollen frame. A little bit lighter and absolutely chock-a-block full of pollen and a little bit of honey as well. So that's good to see. These guys are doing well. Plenty of room, a little bit of pollen through there. So I'm just going to pack them up, pop that other frame back in. Where was that other frame? I might actually put that other frame, so they've got that one there. I might, got plenty of bees. I might put it in between these two. See if we can't get them to draw that out. And that'll increase the brood nest. Cool. There we have it. Alright guys, so now we're going to get into the black hive. I know it's got a blue mark on it, that's just boxes get mixed up sometimes. So last time I come down here they had almost a full box of honey on them, and then I put another box on top. So let's check these guys out. So no real action in this top box, no bees. And funny enough, not a lot of bees in this box either. Still got their honey, nectar, but population's right down. I think I'll leave that other box on. So 8 framer, this one. Really heavy frame here. Probably all honey. Wow. That's a solid frame of honey. Look at that. Beautiful. A little bit of pollen there. Mainly honey. Put that one back in, just so it's not sitting outside causing a robbing situation. These guys are a bit flighty. So I think right across my apiary, be them good bees or bad bees, they're all a bit flighty today and a bit stingy. So, wow. So that's more honey and some good pollen in there as well. So much pollen coming in. I wonder where that's coming from. Just copped a couple of whopping stings on the leg. Good brood. Whenever I get stung, I tend to want to. That's interesting. Whenever I get stung, I tend to want to wrap up the inspection quick smart, but I'm pushing through. Maybe it wasn't. It looks like it was possibly, no, it wasn't chewed. I thought it was chewed. Might be queenless. How many times have I said that today? Pretty ugly brood pattern in this hive. It's really quite ugly. Have you seen eggs? Yeah, there's eggs and larvae in there. Emerging. So we're not queenless. I'll put this one aside. It's a bit better. They're very agitated. Well, that's all spicy. But there are eggs in amongst these cells here. More eggs. Good population. Thought they would have, with the amount of honey in here, they would have started putting more up top. Maybe there hasn't been anything to put up. Alright, so last frame. Lucky last. Stuck like a pig. Whoa, heavy. Look at that. So honey. Looks like they've, oh, I've stripped the cappings off that honey. And more brood, so plenty of brood. Haven't seen the queen. I'm earmarking this one for a re-queening as well. I can't remember where I took this one out of, number 2. I'm going to plonk it back in the middle, just because I can. Cool. I'm going to put their boxes back on top. Whoops. So that's the black hive. A bit aggressive, but certainly moving forward. Alright, so now we're going to get into the silver hive. Let's pop these guys some smoke. The wind's picked up a little bit. And see how we go. Looks like good bee numbers up the top. Initially, some bee numbers up the top. Let's see what they've got in here. So it looks like nectar, which is really cool. Second frame in. Lots of brood, but lots and lots of chalk brood. I wonder if I put that frame in and it's chilled brood. It's never pretty, is it? I've got some problems with this one. Bit of pollen on that frame. No real honey stores to speak of. It's almost like they've abandoned that brood. Ow. So she's laying out a lot of brood, but not a lot of brood is hatching in a healthy manner. I need to do some investigating. Need to look up I know you guys probably know a bit more about it than I do. It's not pretty. That looks better. That hasn't got any chalk brood. It's got 1, 2, 3. Plenty of eggs. I wonder whether I put brood into that. Oh, it's got 2 boxes on it. So it must have been under their own power they got to this size. Pretty obvious the bees can sense something. I've just uncapped about 25 drone cells and I can't seem to see anything untoward. I didn't bring my sugar shake down, I left it in my other toolbox. I know they probably don't need any more room, but I'm going to chuck another frame in anyway, just so they're a bit tighter. Right, so extra frame in there. If anything, it'll just keep them a bit more protected. I don't know. So there's the green hive. Looks quite sickly, doesn't it? These guys have got some issues. Hopefully they can sort them out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. If you like our videos, throw us a like, share, comment. See you in the next one.